part 1 of beating the meat grinder covered how to break a contain. That was basically focused around attacking up track 2, leading up to point 3 and 4 on this map. This video will now cover some of the aspects of taking control of Charlie and also keeping control. As I see it, one of the most important areas to control is the track 2 here, and especially then push up to the overpass. The overpass has 2 spawn points for the Russian team. They can spawn up there and they can effectively run down the stairs both places, or just behind towards B. So controlling the overpass gives the US team good benefits. And also, by controlling the overpass, you also split up the Russians into 2 sections. So they either have to attack down path 1 or path 3 on this map. Another benefit about having the overpass, it really gives Americans options, good options. And also an important factor is that, as you can see from the video, you have good sight areas. The Russians can't really approach the overpass from this angle without being shot at. It's more or less the same as when the Americans try to attack B, but you now push the advantage in your direction. So I'm just going to plot out some of the angles here on the map. You see the blue arrows. The next step when you have control of the overpass is to push both tracks. The track I find most beneficial for American team is track 1, or the one on the left. You can push up almost all the way to the front stairs, the stairs leading up to the elevator area, and that's pretty good. The downside is Russians have a long lane of fire, and if they know how to play, they probably will shoot down on the train. But the other good thing about pushing all the way up on the trains on track 1 is you can lay down crossfire on the red hall there. Then also giving your teammates a better, let's say, easier path up track 2 towards red stairs and red hall. So if you get all the way up where I'm positioned now, you should lay down suppressive fire into red hall there and on the trains and stuff. You could have the option of trying to rush all the way up track 1 and come up backstairs, but it's probably gonna be defended pretty fiercely. It's hard to say the least, but it's worth the try. But don't give up the foothold you have. If you have track 1 all the way up where I am now, keep it and lay down suppressive fire as much as possible. Don't be a stat whore and think about, oh, my accuracy is going down and I'm gonna be trolled at the forums and stuff like that. That's not team play, so you probably should play some other game if you care too much about that. I, for instance, have about 10 or 11% accuracy with my main gun due to I do a lot of suppressive fire. And other things to keep in mind, make sure to always drop ammo. If you're a medic, make sure to drop medkits. Do revives if you're a medic and stay in the background. And if you have good communications with your squad, try to devise out some plan. Do your squad defend this area? Does your squad seek to push forward someplace? Are you getting overrun? Are you strong? And also make sure to don't duplicate these perks. Me and Templado here forgot to fix that, so now we have 2 grenades and anti-suppress, so we're weaker than we should have been, but anyways, people make mistakes. Just try to correct them when possible. Now, a thing I haven't mentioned before, but it's really important to pay attention to, is you see that icon there, the death skull. If you watch out for these death skulls and pay attention where they are, you more or less know where your teammate has been killed. This is pretty useful because if the Russians start to push in really hard somewhere, you'll see a lot of those skulls, and you automatically will know your team is being weak in that position. So if you're a medic, please pay attention to that, and if you're a support guy, you should expect to see hordes of enemies pushing in that from that specific area. And yeah, make sure to play out your role. Um, Engineers could use COD bots. That's extremely annoying when somebody comes up with the EOD bot and burns your ass. And you also have the good old RPG to blast down strongholds. I've focused a lot on track 1 here now, but it's a good attack path if you have the firepower and personnel to do it. Unfortunately, in this video, we're only like three or four guys up here, so I'm just struggling to keep the area. Track 2 usually gives you the fastest safe path up to B, but it's also one of the places where the Russians have the most people, because it's the same for them. They usually pressure down track 2. Or on the map here, I've pointed it out as number 2, as main attack path number 2 after the overpass is taken. The things I wanted to talk about on the basic level in this area is to make sure you have 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 guys constantly firing upwards track 2. As I mentioned earlier, when you get the overpass, you force the Russians into 2 groups. So if they want to reinforce one of the sides, they more or less have to go down backstairs. So you don't stop them reinforcing themselves completely, but you do slow them down. And as you probably know, if you kill someone, they usually have about up to 10 seconds to spawn. And 10 seconds can be a long time in this game. If you have 1 or 2 or maybe even 3 full squads storming up some area and you spawn in 10 seconds, you lose a lot of territory. So try to keep this in mind: to control Charlie, get the overpass, have people up on the overpass firing downwards, pressure up track 1, lay down suppressor fire onto track 2, the red hall, or red stairs as we call it on the server I play at. The tactic I've been talking about is a great way to push the Russians back enough for you to eventually get access to red stairs and push up to the flag at B. But you also have to make sure to clean out the elevator room, as it's called, and also the cave at the end of track 1 and track 2. Watch out for spawn beacons and stuff like that. When you have all these things in place, you're finally ready to fight over the flag at B. So just to do a quick recap, to dominate Charlie, hold the overpass, push up track 1, suppressor fire on track 2. If you're a medic or support, drop ammo and medkits where it's needed. Pay attention to the map and the minimap, look for skulls and stuff like that. And to finally get full control, make sure that there are no beacons or hidden Russians anywhere. Now, thank you for watching part 2 of Beating the Meatgrinder. Part 3 is gonna contain information about how to make sure Russians don't break down into the metro, but also, most importantly, how you on the American team can break into Bravo and eventually gain control there. If you want to see in-game footage, you could go to my owned .com account. It's just called Vonl, VONL. I have probably 20 full-length videos on there now. Old gameplay, but at least full-length unedited videos. So thank you and goodbye.